like Spider-Man, got some powers, right? And this is INC Nation. It's a worldwide movement, powerful philosophy. And myself, I see angels, I see demons, I see ghosts, I see gods. I see a lot of gods. What else do I see? Mostly I see gods. I see masters, right? Like the people that you read. Like let's say you've read, who have I met? Well, okay, well, we're going to do the gate today, right? If you've heard of Miyamoto Musashi, the swordsman, right? Miyamoto Musashi and I have a relationship. Because one time when I was, let's start with the story, okay? Many moons ago, I was living with a girlfriend of mine at the time in San Jose. And it was raining and I couldn't sleep that night. Now all day, my teacher, Manu Tupo, he'd passed away. All day, my teacher was in my mind. Like really big, I couldn't stop thinking about him all day, right? And then in the middle of the night, she was sleeping to my left. I look to my left and the rain, and I realize how miserable my life is, right? That, you know, I had gone through such a major heartbreak from another relationship, and I bounced into another one right away, like that same night, right? So I had a relationship that I was into for 7.5 years, and I was in love, and I thought it was going to be everything. And then we break up, and that same night I have a new girlfriend, and that would be the girlfriend I'm with at this time, right? But miserable relationship. And so in the middle of the night, right, I can't sleep. I sit up. As I sit up, I remember my teacher's face, as if there was like a giant screen in front of me, right? And there was Manu, that big old head, just a head, a floating head, right? I was like, what the hell is going on? I remember she got up. She's like, you okay? I said, no, not really. And then I said, I'm going to walk outside. And I remember it was raining. And I put on some little cut shorts that I had, little black cutoff sweats. And I walked outside, barefoot, with no shirt, and I stood in the rain around 2:30 a.m. And it reminded me of that, like a madman laughing in the rain, little out of touch, little insane. It's just easy as it's dealing with the pain, right? So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go out there. So the rain is pouring on me. I look like a fucking movie. And I start crying just to make it a really great movie at this point, right? And then to add drama to the movie, the girlfriend decides to walk out at this time. And find out if I'm okay. And, you know, she's like, come inside. And I'm like, no. You go inside, I'm gonna fucking stand here and cry and be in the rain for a while. And somehow this ended. I went back. But then I remember when I woke up in the morning, right? Manu was in my head again. That's my teacher. And I knew two things. One, that I was going to go to the Church of Scientology and I was going to pick up a series of lectures. That somewhere in these lectures, there was something I needed to know about time. How? That's crazy, right? Not really, because that's how my life is. So I knew I'm supposed to go there. I'm supposed to go into their library. I knew which lecture series it was. There was clues about it in the lecture series, like when they talk on the back, like what it's about. So I knew it was in there. And I didn't know which audio it was. There was these, you know, audios you listen to. So I was going to dedicate the whole day going through it with the transcripts in my hand, listening, and seeing if I could find this idea that my teacher seemed to be trying to tell me from wherever he was. That was number one. And number two has nothing to do with this. So, oh yeah, number two actually does have to do with this, which is there was a song by Josh Groban, and it's called Remember, okay? And I knew I was supposed to listen to this lecture, find this idea. After I found the idea, I was supposed to listen to the song. Somehow I knew this. Maybe I was nuts. I don't know. But what else am I going to fucking do, right? So I go and I sit in the library and I pick up the lectures. It happened to be, I think, the first lecture or the second lecture. It was right there. It was a series of lectures, like 9 of them. And I know when I got to it, this idea about time, okay? I'm just going to give you the idea that I got from it. It was this idea about time that it's possible for you and I to move through time as consciousness. And that time when you're, for example, let's say yesterday, last night, right? We were all out last night. That is now printed. All the energy that you and I put out last night, our presence, who we are, the environment, it's imprinted somewhere. We know that because you and I could go contact it too in our head. Remember last night and then talk about it, right? So it's imprinted. Now we know that energy doesn't really go away. So what happened to all that energy in the universe? Did it go somewhere? Akashic records, they call it. Right? So I listened to this lecture, and sure enough, I come across it. Now what's interesting is, as I'm reading about time, I don't know what he's saying about it, as I'm reading about time, something happens. And this is how it works for me, how I get visions. And some of these guys have seen it now, some of the girlfriends have seen it now. As I'm reading it, I get transported to the time of the samurai in Japan. And I'm walking in the marketplace. And I see Miyamoto Musashi. I know it's him right away. He is watching a samurai bumped into what do you call it? A regular person. Samurai were a higher class, okay? They were like royalty, under royalty. So in the marketplace, he bumps into a guy. Now, what you gotta know about the samurai, we're opening the samurai gate today, so we're ready to go. What you need to know about the samurai is that many samurai, when they would get a brand new sword, because the sword was like everything to these guys, okay? They wanted to test the sword. They wanted to test the sharpness of it, and they wanted to test it on a human body, right? Because what they do is they put reeds, or like these, they look like reeds. They're these, what is that called, a reed? When you type a bunch of shit and you cut it with a sword. Have you seen how they do that? What are those things? Yeah, well, they're like these, they're not bamboo, because bamboo you can't cut through like that, but it's kind of like some kind of plant, and they wrap them together. If you look at old samurai movies or cartoons, they have these things, and the samurai try to chop it with one chop. It's not easy. You're gonna have to have a real samurai cut to do it, right? However, some samurai wanted to test it on the human flesh. So what they would do is they would walk through the marketplace. I'm not sure. I wouldn't know if I saw the picture of it. It's the same thing that the eagle is holding, like this in his hands on the dollar bill, the sign for fascism.
You mean a sickle?
Not a sickle. It's a bunch of things wrapped inside a reed. So the samurai would walk in the marketplace, right? And purposefully bump into a commoner. Somebody whose body type they wanted to test a samurai sword on. And then what they would do is, you know, they would start yelling at the person and they would say, "You disrespected me." And they would challenge him to a duel. Now, this was a farmer, a commoner, a carpenter, okay? And I'm not feeling sorry for that person, by the way, when I say that, right? They had a choice to be a farmer or carpenter, and he chose to be a samurai, okay? Well, if you choose to walk around amongst lions and bears and tigers, and you choose to have no fucking claws and teeth or how to defend yourself, then too bad for you, you fucking pathetic little shrimp. That's your fucking call. So I got no sympathy for a fucking man who can't defend himself or stand up for himself, right? Fuck them all to hell. But that's not the point of the story. The samurai bumps into him, and I'm watching a samurai who to me is Musashi. I don't know how I know that. He is watching that, and there's a commotion. So I walk up. As I'm reading this is happening, by the way. This is not something I'm imagining. It's happening. And I walk up, and I watch how the samurai, and I see how Musashi steps in, and he takes the duel for the farmer, because Musashi wanted to know if he was the greatest swordsman. So he had a different game he'd play. He'd walk around and look to see a samurai challenge somebody, right? And if it was unrighteous or if he felt like it, he would step in and take the duel himself. He would challenge, right? So I saw this thing happen, and then I flash back. Whoa, what the hell was that? Then I think to myself, I wonder if I could do that with Bruce Lee. So I remember I pause the tape, I sit back, and in my mind, I go to see Bruce Lee. I don't know if I'm making it up or not. I have a little conversation with Bruce Lee and I come back, okay? It was a long time ago. I know that this is what my teacher wanted me to listen to. Then I go in my car and I play this song. which is interesting because it's always really difficult to find the song, even on my own phone. I have to put there it is. Listen now. So then I go in my car and I play this song during lunchtime. And the words are important. See if you can hear the words. Did you feel something? Anybody? Did anybody feel something? You know, not, you know what that means when, of course you feel something all the time, but you felt something, you felt something. Everybody in the room here. What about up there? TK, you just kind of put a hand up. I just want to kind of see. Did anybody from the camera feel something? Isaac, Tony, nobody else? Huh? Yes, good, good, warm. So you felt good. All right, acknowledge. All right, so we can say 100% of the people in here felt something they weren't feeling before. We could say a lot of you, maybe all of you, look, a lot of you, majority for sure, 80%, right? Felt something you didn't feel before. Got that? Now, there's more to it, right? How many people would say that what they felt was some sort of an elevation in energy, a lift inside? How many people would say that they felt some sort of an appreciation inside, if that would be a word, right? Good. We're checking. How many people would say that they felt some sort of inspiration inside? Yeah. Okay. How many people felt and thought about death and faced it for a moment? You faced memento mori for a moment. How many people felt something about seizing the day, like making it happen now? That would be carpe diem, right? These are our Stoic philosophies. How many people thought that they were lucky to be who they were and still alive a little bit? Did anybody get a feeling of appreciating your own life? Any part of your story? I see a nod there, okay? That would be amor, fati. Got it? So listen, in Stoicism, there's three major formulas. One is called amor, fati. It means to love one's fate. Two is, and in no particular order. Two is carpe diem. Yep, carpe diem, to seize the day. Like today, make it happen, basically, right? Go for it, go get it, whatever. And three is memento mori, which means like life is temporary, this identity is gonna be finished, and death is coming, right? Those three things are three things that when people study Stoicism, philosophy from ancient Greek, right? When they study Stoicism, they try their best to feel those things. They want to feel what it's like to seize the day. So they read the words and then, well, whatever happens, maybe they get inspired or not, right? They read memento mori. They want to be able to go out and live life like it's their last day and really take advantage of it, carpe diem, right? That's why people study it most of the time, to better themselves. You got it? Good. Let me explain something to you. You experienced it right now without reading Stoicism, right? By listening to an actual experience I had in my life, that happened in my life in the past, then listening to a song that was part of my experience in the past. You and I traveled in my memory. Here's what happened, and I delivered it to you, right? And now it's been 17 minutes. I started right at 10 today. It's been 17 minutes. This was worth more than any Stoic philosophy you could read today. Better than any Ryan Holiday fucking YouTube video that you watched today on how to be a Stoic. This is better than Jocko Wilkins sitting there as a Navy SEAL talking about, you know, you got to go hard and that's what it was like. This is actually way better than that. This is way better than David Goggins talking about whatever the fuck David Goggins does. This was experience you had, not experience they had. This you experienced, I just asked you, and you experienced carpe diem, memento mori, and amor fati, plus some other shit. You experienced that. You see that? When you listen to those people, some have experienced it, some have, but you don't experience it. You get motivated to go experience it. Right now, you experienced it, okay? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know how to communicate, and you don't. You don't know how to communicate. You just don't. You're talking, but you're not communicating. You're speaking, but you're not communicating. You're hearing people talk, but you're not listening at all, actually. And you is 100% of you up there. Some are better. Some are worse. None know how to communicate yet. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, you don't know how to communicate. I'm going to tell you, when you know how to communicate, that's what happens. I communicated my experience to you, and you got it. It didn't even matter if you didn't have the fucking machine to receive. All you had to do was tune in today at 10 a.m. to www.azd Azd motherfucking DINC Nation, spider.com. And if you could even get a faint ding, right? You could be in goddamn China right now. If you got a faint ding, right? You were going to hear the song that I was going to play. You were going to hear the communication, and you were going to receive it. Because he who communicates is a higher being. I'm a higher being than you. For that reason, I can take your women from you as I can take every single one of their women's and their girlfriends. On my mother's life, if I wanted their girlfriends, I could take them from them. And they need to know that about me. And there's nothing they can do about it or you. Because that's what would happen if a being who knew how to communicate arrived. Now, ready? All it is learning how to communicate. Nothing else. If anything is special about me, is somehow, don't ask me how, I don't know what ladder I climbed to get here, somehow I get it when it comes to communication. I get it. I understand it. I read the book and I got it. Right? And he who communicates is one who could lead. He could seduce. He could sell. He could convince. He could influence. He could control. He could command. He gets respect. He gets, those are the things he was putting out. In return, he gets respect. He gets admiration. He gets love. He gets support. He gets wealth. It's an in and out breath. He who communicates, this is his rewards. And no muscle can beat him. It doesn't matter how big the dragon is. If the dragon can understand my words, he'll go to sleep. It doesn't matter. He just has to understand my words. But that's what a communicator is, a messenger. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. No sword, no gun, no muscle, no money, no looks, no amount of people. If you bring 100 people here to attack me, you're going to have 99 people attacking you in a little bit. That's the power. If 1,000 people draw guns, a communicator can make them put those guns down, sell those guns, turn them around on you, or even on their own head. That's what communication is. It's the secret of the gods. I know it for a fact. One of the secret of the gods is communication. For that reason, the slaves were not allowed to learn language, because language would free them. So anytime somebody has wanted to keep somebody down, they didn't want that person to understand the words and symbols and how to communicate. There was no other way to do it. Somewhere, somebody who knew how to communicate will always defeat the people who don't know and have guns and knives and swords. For that reason, on earth, right now, communist countries don't allow people to communicate freely. If you went to China, you would have your own version of the internet, and it wouldn't be this one. And if you come to the United States, it's no longer free speech on the internet. It's still free speech in the house. Okay? But not on the internet. I know, because we've seen videos come and go that shouldn't have gone. We know you get banned. Go ahead, go on your Instagram right now and put a video of a woman grabbing her child and saying how ugly the child is on camera. I put that up on my Instagram, right? A little baby, an innocent little baby. She goes, look, right? She's disgusted by her child. And the caption I was going to write was simply this. Ready? Idiot. I was going to write idiot. And it gave me a warning. This is a warning because you get banned by... And I'm like, idiot? That's not an idiot? How about cunt? Will cunt work for this one? Right? I can't call it what it is. Why? Who's getting offended? You guys getting offended by words? Is that what you're doing? You can't communicate. Not one word that you could ever think or make up would ever offend me. It's not a possibility. Shadows aren't real, are they? I'm not going to walk and then my shadow is going to hit me in the face and I can't go forward. It's just a lack of light. Your words are the shadows of the energy inside of it. You don't got energy, bro. You don't know how to communicate. You're not even there. What's it like to not be able to communicate? What does it feel like to go around and have zero friends? Zero friends. You don't have friends. If they're your friends, where are they? How come they're not on right now? Is this helping you? Is this helping you? Where's your friends at? If you're a friend, why don't you bring your friends here? If they're your friend, why don't they listen to you? You don't have friends. I know it. What's it like to be in a relationship with a man or a woman and know for sure, deep inside, that they are inches away from leaving you? You feel pretty secure in your relationships, not knowing how to communicate? What's it like to go home and in your heart not be able to speak to the person you sleep next to? Because you're afraid that if you say what's going on inside of you, they're going to leave you. What's it like being like that? Can you tell me what it's like if a person goes to work? What's it like when you go to work and you actually can't say how you feel about almost anything, and you have to keep it on a social line at work, and you can't go up and down that thing? What's it like to be 6-7 hours slaving away like a prostitute just so someone can pay your fucking bills? You sound like a prostitute. You sold yourself for money. What's it like to go get a job and not be confident and secure in the interview because you don't know how to communicate? What's it like to not know how to text a girl? What's it like to ask me, what do I say? Well, I'll tell you, but make sure I'm fucking her too. Let her know these beautiful words came from this beautiful man, not your pathetic ass. What's that like? I'm willing to do it for a big price. The price that you would put on that girl's head in your life, you should pay me. If you ever got a girl from me, by me telling you what to say to her when you would have said something different, then that's how much you owe me right now. Or the girl. I'm not lying. You wouldn't have got it without me. You value that thing a lot. You didn't pay me enough for it, did you? You kept taking, didn't you? Because you can't hear. That's why. Communication requires an in and out. If you just breathe out the whole day, it won't work. If you just breathe in, you're going to pop. It ain't going to work. It has to be a balance. You have to be able to deliver your message and receive a message. If this phone only called out and you could only hear my voice one-way walkie-talkie, it's not worth it. It needs to send and receive communication. What's it like to not be able to block somebody from your life the way you can't block them from your Instagram or Facebook work? What's it like to have a disease around you 24 hours a day in the form of an ex, a baby mama, a baby daddy, a mother you hate with a passion, a father you've never forgiven, so you hate them too, resent? What's it like to live like that? Are you okay? Because you can't lie, you're not okay. Do you understand? There's a solution here. Do you understand? I don't have your problem, but I did. Do you understand? I know your problem because I had your problem. That's why you can't lie to me. Because I got myself through that. Last night, the waitress says to me, "Is that weed?" I said, "Yes," blah, blah, blah. She said, I like to smoke, but I don't smoke because it gives me anxiety. I said, "Oh, okay." And then she says, "Does it give you anxiety?" I said, "I don't have anxiety in life." I said, "Well, that's really good." I said, "No, I worked on myself. I also used to have anxiety just like every other idiot in this house." Not house here, I'm talking about my mind last night. It's like my house wherever I go. Just so you know, I'm at home wherever I go. I'm at home here. I'm at home there. I'll be at home in a jail cell. I'll be at home next to the devil. I'll be at home being tortured. It don't matter. Home is where I'm at. Why? Because home is a place where you find love, isn't it? What kind of home is it if you don't have love? You go to your house, it's a war zone. Home is where you find love. I found love in a hopeless place. Today, the technology that I have put together, I've worked on it, and I have a technology. Now, I know that must just sound absurd to some people. Okay? Cool. It doesn't change what is. A technology I've put together to completely handle all the bullshit that I've handled in me, in you, in a quantum leap, in a moment. It's a Stargate. It opens at 11 today. Wait, at 12 today. And that Stargate is called Samurai. And I'm going to take you with my language, and I'm going to deliver to you what I stole from the samurai. I've stolen the secret of the gods. I can do it. Because once you understand language, you could always go into any program and understand the programming of it. I'm going to give you the programming of the greatest samurais that ever lived. Today, starting with Masashi. Get ready to meet Masashi today. Now, on my website, I have a new thing. I didn't even know it existed. Check this out. Because money is everybody's fucking problem. I hope one day you wipe your ass with your money. That's how much money you have. Doesn't make sense not to have this shit. If you go on my website and you want to purchase it, there's this program thing they have that we affiliate ourselves with. So I think it's $500. I don't know how much it is. I think $500 for the leap, okay? And you can't afford it. It's okay. They give you a little loan. You're going to have to pay them interest. They pay me so I can deliver to you. Don't worry about it. And you can do that up to $15,000 with me. Got it? Here's how you do it. Because you have until 12 o'clock. And I'm telling you, from the depth of my goddamn soul, you need it more than you could fucking imagine. You need it so fucking bad, it's unreal. Aren't you sick of your chains? What chains am I talking about? You can't communicate. I'm only talking about that chain, no other chain. The one that grips your soul, that one. Aren't you done? Now, what are you going to do? Try it. Make a decision to communicate today, and I'll see you splattered down in the fucking valley as I look at you from the mountain. You think it's that easy? Then do it. I fucking triple dare you. Today, decide to go communicate everything you want. Try it. First of all, you won't do it. Why? You don't have the courage. Facts. Facts. 2, should you manage to pull off 2 hours of it today, just for 2 hours, go around and communicate. Really fucking communicate. Should you do it, then I'll see you splattered on the floor. It takes skill, it takes practice, and it takes work on oneself. And it is the absolutely most difficult thing I've ever accomplished in this life. No matter what else I did, to learn to communicate properly is the most difficult. But out of everything I've done in life, all of those things don't even measure up to being able to communicate. That's why, for that reason, is why I'm a black belt under Batata, the first black belt. Mystery's #1 student. Anthony Jacquin's fucking protege, and whatever the fuck name you could give me on that one. For the reason that I know how to communicate. I could always hear the teacher, hear his language, take his code, and I knew how to put it inside of me and manifest that. I didn't need to read 1,000 books. The mystery method was enough for me to understand the mystery method. All of it. And if I couldn't apply the book, I can guarantee you the book is booby-trapped. For example, The Surrender Experiment with Michael Singer is booby-trapped. For example, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, is booby-trapped. It's designed to trap you, not free you. And how do you know that? Because Oprah Winfrey pushes it on her program as an important thing. And just research who she is, what she's connected to, what she's engaged in. And if a person like that, with that much power in the world, in media, comes and gives a whole month to one author, then you better make sure you burn that book as fast as you can, bro. We're going to go to what's called the Bad Boys Club, all right? That's for the men. I hope to see you there. Everybody else, that's the lecture today. Be the best and fuck the rest.